So now going on to the journey, how does the journey looks like? So week number one, you will be going into the low level I2C character driver. So what I'm going to do over here is I'm not going to show you the client driver and something like this. We are going to start with a very basic. That means there will be a character driver framework. So in the kernel space, we will develop a low level driver where you will be writing the registers. So first we will create this framework, and not to confuse you much and not to create all that confusion of the I2C framework, you will be just developing a character driver. To the user space, you will provide the device file, and through this device file, you will interact. So that means we are going to write a character driver for the I2C controller. Nothing like I2C framework, controller driver, and also we are going to start our journey from here. So I believe in keeping things simple. There are guys who would have seen who love making the things complicated so that they can showcase like how talented they are. But I believe talent is making complex things look simple. Then you are a real trainer. So that is the philosophy which I follow in. Okay, so now first you are going to develop this character driver framework. That is going to be the week number one, challenge number one. Then what you are going to do is you are going to go to the week number two, where I'm going to show you how do you write into the I2C registers. How do you send the start condition? How do you send the stop condition? How do you get the virtual address for the physical address? So every initialization of the controller on the BeagleBone Black, we'll be looking into this. Week number three, we'll be moving on to, on the BeagleBone Black, we have the E square plom. So with this E square plom, how do you write the data into E square plom? How do you read the data from the E square plom? So all those things will be covered over here. Next, we will be moving on to the important aspect of device model. So device model, which I told you about the platform drivers, the device tree, Linux I2C framework. So all those things will be covered as a part of this. That means you will be converting your driver, which was like a character driver, we will be converting into the adapter and the client driver. Week number five. So here we'll be writing a dummy client and the adapter driver. That means without any hardware, I want to learn about the framework. So that we are going to see in week number four. In week number five, we will see how do we integrate this driver, which was the low level driver, with the framework. So then it will give you a complete picture of how the things are evolving, right from like writing your driver from the scratch to something like integrating it with the framework. Week number six, we'll be moving on to the interrupt management, where we will see top half, bottom half, setting up the FIFO, what is the FIFO threshold, what is the optimal way of handling the things. So with that, we'll complete our journey, and it will take at least 6 to 8 sessions for us to complete this particular thing. So every time we'll have a review of the assignment, and then we'll be having something like a challenge where I will prepare you for the challenge and how the things will look for you. So the things will be something like this. So if I go to my, so you will have a challenge. Okay, like in it, device model. So you will have over here the to do's which you need to complete in this stuff. All these are basically, so you will have a to do's. You need to complete this to do's and all this stuff. So that will make your drive. Then you will have a working code once you complete those to do's. Those to do's will be basically reviewed. And what you will be getting is you will be getting a recorded session as well. So now if you see here, what you will be getting. So for example, I2C drivers training. If I see, so last time there were 14 participants. I just completed that particular stuff a few days back. We have completed that batch. So Priyajit was from that batch. So you will get all the recordings, that whatever live sessions would be conducted, the recordings would be available to you. And then there will be a clear cut information about instruction about what you want to achieve. Like what are the things you have to do in order to complete that challenge. So this is how the things are going to be. Okay. So learning outcomes, understanding the driver at the core architecture level, taking your driver skills to the next level, complete understanding of end-to-end flow, understanding of a device-free binary, the platform drivers, how do you write with a low-level driver registers, Linux I2C framework, deep dive into the source code. Okay, so those all things will be covered as a part of this training program. So now just understand, when you know all these kind of stuff, cracking the interview is just a matter of time. Once you get into this particular interview, when you know all these skills, it's not a big deal, believe me. The way the pre-adjut is done and the way the other candidates who will be concentrating on the assignments will do, this is just a matter of time, I believe. It's actually not a big deal. Okay, so this is how the things are. Okay, so now what are the program training details? Prerequisite, you should be comfortable with Linux environment. You should be comfortable with character drivers. So remember, this training is not for the basics. This training is for the guys who want to take their skills to the advanced level. Okay, you need the BeagleBone Black, which you need to purchase. Okay, it's not included in the training program. Linux machine or virtual machine training schedule, one live session a week for 6 weeks. So I'm saying six, but it might go to 6 to 8 weeks because it depends on the speed with which we are proceeding. So as I told you, there is no bounding on time when I deliver something. Okay, so I want to see the results. That's what I really care about. WhatsApp group will be there for the doubt clarification, and there will be a lifetime community